Adventurous kids explore with education and learning what a wild life is in the Everglades. I want to explore the Museum of Discovering Science. What plants do butterflies like? I want to know about Key West. Adventurous kids, learning and fun. Adventurous kids!
Today we're going to tell you about the White House. The President of the United States lives and works in the White House. The President's family lives there also. The White House is in Washington, D.C. at 1600 Pennsylvania Northwest Avenue, Washington, D.C. 20500. Its walls are made of sandstone and painted white. The White House requires 570 gallons of paint to cover its outside surface. The White House has stood as a symbol of presidency for more than 200 years. Count. 200 years. The first president of the United States, George Washington, did not live in the White House. Say what? Why it's called the White House? Just a moment. It had not been built yet, and Washington, D.C. did not exist when he was elected. Interesting, isn't it? Oh, get this. The capital at that time was New York City. Hey? Whoa, that's kind of interesting and shocking. During Washington's first term, the capital was moved to Philadelphia. In 1790, the U.S. Congress chose the area that is now Washington, D.C. to be the site of the new permanent U.S. Capitol. In 1792, an architect named James Tobin drew up plans for a house where the president could live. The house was not ready until 1800. John Adams was the first president to live there. In 1814, during the War of 1812, British soldiers entered Washington, D.C. They set a fire that damaged the inside of the White House. Workers finished making repairs in 1817. In 1902, workers built the West Wing to make office space. In 1942, workers built the East Wing to make even more space from 1948 to 1952. Much of the interior of the building was rebuilt. The outside walls were not changed. The White House was built by immigrants, African American laborers, enslaved and freed, and Europeans. Over the years, several presidents and their wives have redecorated the rooms of the White House. Today, the public can tour parts of the main building. Visitors to the White House can take this tour. Some of the public rooms include the East Room, the Green Room, and the Blue Room. At various times in history, the White House has been known as the President's Palace, the President's House, and Executive Mansion. President Theodore Roosevelt officially gave the White House name in 1901. The White House is made up of 6 stories. A 2-story basement, ground floor, the state floor, the second floor, and the third floor. There are 132 interior rooms in the White House, including 35 bathrooms, 16 bedrooms, and 3 kitchens. The White House kitchen can serve up to, you're not going to believe this, 140 guests at a time. The White House is surrounded by a fence that is about 8 feet tall, I can imagine, and it is patrolled 24 hours a day by the Secret Service. Who could blame them? By the Secret Service, yeah. The term White House is regularly used as a synonym for the executive office of the President of the United States and for the President's administration and advisors in general. The property is owned by the National Park Service and is part of the President's Park. In 2007, it was ranked second on the American Institution of Architects list of America's favorite architects. The west and east wings of the White House connect with the main building. They contain offices for government workers. The office of the president, called the Oval Office, is in the west wing. The office of the vice president is in the west wing. It's also in the west wing. The east wing holds the other offices, including those of the First Lady, the President's wife, and her staff. The White House also has an indoor movie theater. billiard room, bowling alley, and swimming pool. The swimming pool was added in 1933 by President Franklin D. Roosevelt, and the bowling alley was installed at the request of President Harry S. Truman in 1947. Which room would be your favorite viewers of this Adventurous Kids episode?
The White House grounds include a variety of facilities such as a tennis court, putting green, jogging track, basketball court. Outside surface, there's the recreational needs of the first family and also allows for social events. Sounds like a pretty cool place for a birthday party, right?
There are also several gardens in the White House grounds, including the Rose Garden and the Jacqueline Kennedy Garden. You recognize that? Jacqueline Kennedy was the wife of President John F. Kennedy, making her the First Lady during his rule. Every First Lady has made her own changes and additions to the White House, including redecorating various rooms and adding new gardens or other outdoor features.
In conclusion of this episode of Adventurous Kids, the White House is a fascinating place with a rich history. Whether you are interested in politics, history, or just want to see where the President of the United States lives, the White House is definitely worth a visit. Thank you so much for watching
This episode of Adventurous Kids. Listen to me. What did you learn today?
Adventurous Kids!
Adventurous Kids!
What was the most interesting fact?
Adventurous Kids!
Adventurous Kids!